Dean Charles and the Mayor for allowing me the opportunity to speak to this meeting. The Regional Spatial Strategy and the Area Action Plan are both things that have troubled me greatly, and as I've talked to people in the area, I have never found so much trouble in people's minds as I believe has been generated over these issues. To build this many houses in an area like Camborne is going to effectively swamp large areas of it. There are so many points, some of which have already been raised by Councillor Biggs regarding it. I would like to say first and foremost, I'm very concerned there is a lot of development on greenfield sites. There is also quite a bit, I believe, of destruction of our heritage being caused by this development. And as we live in a World Heritage area, which is quite capable of generating jobs and economy for us, that I believe is very serious. I would also, when I first heard the words housing-led regeneration, I became very troubled about that. Housing-led regeneration is based apparently, according to what I hear, on the idea you build the houses then the jobs follow. I've always thought it was rather the other way round. The jobs occurred and then you came in and you bought the houses. Indeed, having read through bits of the Area Action Plan, they've in fact got a nice little calculation for this. There's 0.9 of a job for every household in Camborne. Therefore, you build 100 houses, you will create 90 jobs, as if by magic. Now, that to me is not very good that is not very good thinking. I'm all in favour of housing being built to meet local needs for local people. I think we do need housing, and we need housing for local people in this area. But when I read in the strategy that something like 82% of this housing is being built for what Councillor Biggs has called in-migration, I begin to worry. I love the community I live in. I love the people whom I serve as a councillor. And I believe that a lot of these communities are about to be swamped. Villages like Pen Ponds, for example, where the housing will quite probably be built between, down Bounderbean Lane, between Camborne and Pen Ponds. Villages who are engulfed like this will lose their natural identity. And the same goes for other areas of Camborne. I don't think that that is correct. But one of my main problems with it as well is I've always been a great believer in democracy. This is not being developed in a democratic fashion to my mind. It is being dictated from unelected quangos in Exeter and perhaps even further afield in Bristol. None of these bureaucrats were actually elected. They're not accountable. When you get fed up with me or you get fed up with any of us here, you can always sack us. That every 4 years you have the chance to throw us out and get somebody fresh in. Not with these people, you don't. I am very concerned about that. It's not the kind of planning I like to see. I like to see planning that's developed from the bottom up rather than the top down. We've had the consultation, and in my opinion, really a lot of the consultation has been about box ticking. You've not been ever presented with the option you don't want it, full stop. And that's wrong. And another point I've written a lot of notes here, you'll have to forgive me while I look at them occasionally. And another point as far as I'm concerned is that this doesn't seem to meet any of the needs that we want. There's no infrastructure in the sense of doctors, dentists and other things being put in to accompany a lot of this. Already the roads in Camborne, a lot of the roads are pretty well chock-a-block. The amount of traffic that this is going to generate is going to be enormous. I mean, I think Councillor, if I may just look at Councillor Biggs put quite rightly, I mean in West Ward, 2,400. Well, that's a potential of 4,800 cars minimum on the road. I don't believe our roads can cope. I don't believe we have the jobs to sustain this. I don't believe we have the necessary infrastructure to contain this. And above all, I don't believe imposing figures from the top down is just. I hope that people will very seriously consider, the Mayor talked a minute ago about marching on London. I think we should consider what actions can be taken about this. Because I tell you, I love Camborne, I don't want to see it swamped and destroyed. That's all I have to say for a minute. I wish to come back.